Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony. Let's talk about the APU Future and Gaming. The APU Future is one that's very interesting to me. It's one that I've been following since AMD announced they'd be having APUs, and we know that Intel has had graphics on their chips for a very long time as well. And there's a huge market already out there with chips with graphics cards. And there's been a couple videos that I've actually seen too, and they've been going off this premise of something I've been actually thinking about for many years since AMD came out with it, and they just got videos out of it, and they did a great job. So I believe there's somebody, not Moore's Law channel, the Not an Apple Fan, and the Good Old Gamer. They did all channels on APUs, and some of the things that they said I totally agree with as well. And but my thought on the whole APU thing is yes, it is a gaming side thing, a gaming play that AMD really wants to get right. Because if you look at the APUs and what AMD did, even when they were on like the bulldozer-based architecture, they really talked up how powerful the graphics are. And I think AMD really wants to push that so that it can be a gaming solution. And I think Intel, the reason why they brought over Raja and all this, I mean, Intel's buying all the graphic talent out there, you know, with everybody from Nvidia. They just poached somebody from Nvidia. I'm blanking on his name, but he was a great. He basically helped, you know, go through and set up G-Sync and explain it to everybody else out there. Great guy. I believe it's Tom, and all the marketing guys from AMD and everybody else are poaching. This is about Intel getting into the graphics market, I believe, and making it play not just on the discrete side. Yeah, you know, I think Intel wants to have that discrete side for, you know, the compute side, especially in the data center. There's a lot of money in there, but I think they even more want it to be able to say, hey, our chips, you can play your games right on there. I mean, they're developing, we saw some of the drivers, they're developing for optimizations in their drivers. So they want to be able to basically have that low end on their chips. Now, I think AMD and Intel have a few reasons for that. One main reason I think is that they're going to want to do that is that they can basically have more control over the development of the product, right? You don't have to worry about managing power on many different segments anymore, right? You have the whole entire chip, the graphics, everything else on there. And so from AMD and Intel, they can control power, where it goes, how much it's using, heat, and that can even help with the design of a laptop. Another one is I don't think the relationship is very good between Intel and Nvidia right now. I think they've had their indifferences in the past, and that's another thing that Intel's trying to get away from. And I think AMD and Intel see an opportunity here to increase both their product mind share of what they're capable of doing on the graphical side of things in basic systems and mid-tier. I think that they want to go after the mid and low tiers to really solidify them as an APU market, where then GPUs are for high end. It would really, I think it would drastically change how we look and build computers. Now, as long as there's competition, at least Intel and AMD, hopefully that this can bring costs down for the gamer that either wants to get into it or not. And I think that this also, they want an easy way for entry-level gaming and mid-range gaming, because like Google Stadia is coming out. That's going to be another way to get gamers involved. And as gamers get involved, they may want a system. And I think that Google Stadia is just a gateway to get them into more gaming. I think Google would like them to stay there, but I think people, once they get a taste of it, they might want to see what a PC can do. Or maybe even a console at home. You know, consoles are like basically APUs for the most part. And, you know, custom silicon, it'd be kind of interesting to see what they can do there. You know, AMD Radeon Everywhere is something more serious than what I thought they meant to begin with, right? AMD didn't have a great, you know, top tier product. Nvidia owns that space, and they have had for years. Now, granted, they're really expensive top tier stuff, but they own it. And AMD basically took the thing, we want Radeon everywhere. Google Stadia has Radeon. Consoles, they have Radeon. You know, your mid-range tier desktops, they have, you know, they compete with Nvidia with Radeon. But this APU thing, that is Radeon everywhere. If we can get everyone on an APU, gaming on an APU, you know, we're competing with Intel in this space. There's the two competing against each other. Intel, I think, recognizes this, and that's why they got the graphic side stuff to kind of really beef it up. Because think of the opportunity here. You go and now you've been on Google Stadia. Now you want to go buy build a PC, but you don't want to spend that much money. Well, an APU can have a great entry price, right? You can get gaming into it. I have a 2200G ups that the builds on this channel, and I've been starting to tinker with it, and it's actually more powerful than what I thought. Like, I'm pretty impressed with it. Granted, it's not amazing gaming. It's not my desktop down here that I render everything on and everything else. Vega 64 in it. Yeah, it's not that, but it is capable. And let's say these next gen APUs, they've been increasing performance, 7 nanometers coming out. AMD's doing a lot of different stuff that has an opportunity here. Intel has 10 nanometers sometime, and 7 nanometers coming on the hot and heels of that. Intel has some opportunity. Let's say they get these graphics chips up where it's, maybe a, what is it, 1650 might be coming out, or, 1050, low end 1060 11, or what is it, 1660 Ti or something like that. And they just keep on adding on this, and then they start, ratcheting up, getting even more performance. Let's say they, get up something like 1660 Ti space. I think it's possible to do, and that they can actually go through and get that accomplished. If they do something like that, that could change the aspect of how we build computers for that mid and lower range tier. Do I think that discrete graphics cards are going away? No way. I think that there's, maybe a time way far down the road, but in the near mid and as far as I see out, I see a demand for high-end performance still. And I think you still have to shoot for high-end performance, and you should always have a high-end performance product out there. AMD, take note, because that's something that somebody wants to go get, and it's just something out there that people want to achieve and just see what it can accomplish. And also push developers. I'm a developer myself. The more hardware you put out there, I want to go try to see how I can make it so it's, I need more hardware. It's just something, developers like to take advantage of over time. And so I think there's an opportunity here for both. But the one thing, the Intel-Nvidia relationship, I don't think has been going too well. And I think one reason why Intel wanted graphics is kind of get off the reliancy, right? You see Nvidia graphics card and Intel, CPU, and Intel sees an opportunity here. It could be all Intel. We could have our CPU, our graphics card, and even if it was a discrete one, we still probably have more control. AMD saw the same thing. They went and got ATI, and they want their stuff, right? All in the same system. I think Nvidia, personally, I thought Nvidia should have gone through and done an ARM type processor. They have the Tegra already, but made a more powerful one. Worked with Windows a little bit, Microsoft, because Microsoft's got, Windows that's going, on ARM. So why don't we just take advantage of that, Nvidia, and then build a chip with a powerful GPU on the back, or mid-range or bottom tier GPU, right? Get another entryway of gaming. I think that there would have been an opportunity there. I don't know if Nvidia went a different way, but there's questions I have about Nvidia if the APU market strategy, what I think of Intel and AMD want, takes off, because then Nvidia is only in the high end, and there's gonna be some reflections in market share probably eventually, but also share price and stock price. So that could be very interesting for them going down the road. So there's a little bit here that is unknown, but as we approach here with Ryzen 3 and with the new Intel chips with the new GPU team, or Ryzen Gen 3 I should say, not Ryzen 3, it's a little confusing here, but Ryzen Gen 3, and maybe even Ryzen Gen 4 and 5 that are coming out down the road, and Intel's future products in like 2020 and stuff like that. I think that there's going to be a changing the market strategy. I'm really excited to probably get a system on one of these, do some gaming on them. That's, even maybe it's a Ryzen 5 that is, pretty powerful, like lower mid tier, someplace in there, hopefully, and can do some gaming that's reasonable and people can get into. I think that's a great opportunity to bring more people into the PC space. Also, these are going to be great work devices too. I mean, people that want to get work done, these are going to be, I think, going to have a great opportunity for both sides of it. And to actually keep prices lower for those, especially people at work, and the people entering into the gaming space that want to play games. And then I think it's just going to be a matter of time before people are just going to want to upgrade, maybe to a better system. But it also keeps that PC gaming space probably in an interest for many more years to come. So, and it helps grow it, which is always a good thing to grow a space. So these are some of my thoughts on this. I know I told you about a few other channels that had the APU stuff. They did a great job on that. Go check them out as well. But let me know what your thoughts are on the APU space and where's it going. This is something I've been thinking about for a few years, and I should have probably did this a little bit sooner on my YouTube channel, but yeah, ever since AMD wanted the APU out, I remember that announcement. Leno, yeah, it had some rocky starts there, but that one was a product that I thought could really change the game on what compute is. You know, I really wish some of the other technologies with it were still going forward. The HSA group and stuff like that, it's kind of not been as focus of AMD's lately, but I think that there's opportunity here to come, and it could get really interesting. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'd love to listen to or read them and get some dialogue there as well. But I would like to thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Gray Overload and helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. I think you guys have been great with it. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.